Welcome to my channel and welcome to Hera Talks. This is the first video I'm ever making, and yeah, a little bit nervous but excited. Let's see how this goes on. We're going to be reacting to a video by Kurzgesagt. I think I'm pronouncing that word wrong and I'm really sorry, but yeah, basically it's a info animation video. I think you've all seen them around, which are very informative and fun, and the colors just beautiful. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and let's get our subscriber numbers up. Yeah.
In the 1970s, thousands of chicken heads rained from the sky in Europe, making foxes and other wildlife
Oh wait, I forgot to say, this is the deadliest virus on Earth.
confused and very happy. Why? They were filled with a vaccine to fight the deadliest virus known to humanity. Since the 1930s, a rabies epidemic had been sweeping across wildlife populations in Europe, and humans wanted to finally get rid of the virus once and for all. Rabies is named after Lyssa, the ancient Greek spirit of mad rage, and has been haunting us for at least 4,000 years. It can turn animals into angry beasts and humans into zombies that fear water.
4,000 years, humans into zombies that fear water. Why isn't this taught in school? Okay, maybe I didn't learn it in school. They didn't teach. I didn't know. I think I missed class that day. No, I'm pretty sure we didn't cover it. Zombies that fear water. And all of you are here just touching dogs. Petting dogs that you don't know. Okay, fine. Majority of dogs are vaccinated and stuff. But I didn't know this. Wait, I think I was told a couple of years ago that you need to get a rabies vaccine, and it lasts 10 years, and you need to boost it up like how you do it with tetanus shots. I love dogs. I don't know if cats transmit it, but y'all be careful out there, yeah?
But what makes Lyssa fascinating is not just how bizarre and deadly its infection is, but also how incredibly good it is at avoiding our defenses.
So it's Kurzgesagt, whatever, in a nutshell. I'll just call it in a nutshell.
Viruses exist on the edge between life and death, hardly more than a few genetic instructions that need living cells to multiply. The Lyssa virus is simple even for a virus. It has only 5 genes, that is, the instructions for 5 proteins that let it solve complex problems, infect a mammal, avoid its immune system, travel to its brain, make more of itself, and infect new hosts.
Sorry to keep on pausing the video. Don't you find science fascinating? I mean, I'll never be a scientist. I mean, I loved science, knowing stuff, but not the intricate bits and bobs of it. But damn, science is fascinating, and I really envy, and no, I really admire, not envy, I admire the virologists and those people, mad scientists. I know it's bad to say that in the wake of the panorama, but it's fascinating, because here you have this thing that is basically genetically engineered, not human man engineered, but genetically engineered to infect, avoid the human immune system, travel, multiply, and just repeat, eat, sleep, repeat. Just infect, avoid, travel, multiply, repeat. It's freaking fascinating. Yo, I I admire them. I not the virus. I admire the virologists and people who study, who dedicate their lives to study this kind of things. It's just brilliant.
Let's see what happens if you get infected. It all starts with a bite, most likely by a dog carrying millions of viruses in its saliva, pushing them deep into the tissue. The goal is your nerve cells, your neurons. They are living electrochemical wires transferring signals throughout your body and can stretch for up to 1.5 meters with their cellular machinery on one end and a terminal on the other. The terminal is where cells talk to each other by passing chemicals that convey information. LISA probably binds to the receptors that are crucial for this process and slips inside the unsuspecting nerve cells. Inside, the virus has to solve a big problem. It needs to get to the cellular machinery to take over the cell and make more viruses, and because neurons are pretty long, this can be far away. There is a solution at hand though. Cells have microtubules spanning their insides that give them structural integrity, but they also provide a track system for a specialized delivery system. Dynein motors are actual motors that use energy and deliver packages. They're made from 50
Have you guys watched this this anime about about the body? I remember I watched it. I think I watched 2 episodes, but I can't remember which it is. I can't remember the name of it. That anime was so good. So yeah, the anime is informative. Check it out. I'll think of I'll look for a name. Let me just try remember it, and then I'll let you know.
different proteins, 10 times more than the virus, and look like a little pair of shoes. LISA uses one of its 5 proteins to hijack this amazing system and order it to head for the nucleus. What's the immune system doing to prevent all of that? Well, unfortunately, not much. Usually when a virus attacks, your civilian cells are crucial in activating your immune response. They notice that they've been infected and release hundreds of thousands of a special family of proteins, the interferons that, well, interfere with viruses. We'll have to simplify a lot, but in a nutshell, interferons alert your immune system to make antivirus weapons. But they do much more. They tell civilian cells to turn down their protein factories for a while, which means that viruses can't replicate efficiently anymore. And interferons tell your cells to become super transparent, which is important because how can your immune cells notice that your civilian cells are...
I mean, and this is in our body? Okay. Our bodies are just it's just beautiful, scary, intricate, but absolutely beautiful.
are infected when viruses hide inside them. Your body solves this by creating display windows into their insides called MHC class 1 molecules. Cells constantly produce stuff to stay alive, and to showcase to your immune cells what's going on inside them, they take random samples of their products and put them into these tiny display windows to give a peek inside. Interferons tell your cells to make way more display windows and become super transparent. If a cell is infected and forced to make virus parts, your immune cells will see these parts in a window and order the infected cell to kill itself and all the viruses trapped within. This is one of the most powerful methods of wiping out a viral infection. Unfortunately, LISA blocks your neurons from making interferons and stays basically invisible to your immune system. In contrast to many other viruses, when it replicates, it doesn't kill its host, which
I've remembered the anime I was telling you guys. It's called Cells at Work. That anime was just absolutely brilliant.
It would also trigger alarm systems. Instead, it stealthily jumps from neuron to neuron, very slowly making its way to your brain. This phase can take weeks to months and very rarely even years, and depends on a bunch of things, like if the bite was in your face or foot, or how many viruses got into your muscles. Lissa is a patient monster until it reaches its goal, your brainstem. Finally, the immune system catches on that something isn't right and reacts. It dispatches some of your most powerful antivirus cells, killer T cells, to seek and kill infected cells and wipe out the enemy. In other viral infections, this would be a turning point, but in rabies, the T cells are rushing towards their doom. Simple Lissa, with its 5 proteins, plays a reverse card, using the immune system's ingenuity against itself. Your central nervous system is a very fragile part of your body, and so the immune system has to be very careful. A few haywire immune cells in your brain is a quick way to die. So they aren't free to enter your nervous system, they have to be invited in and can be kicked out. To protect themselves, your nerve cells can order T cells to self-destruct if they think they're overreacting.
We have an inbuilt self-destruct system? Button? A detonator? We are beautiful creatures. No doubt about it. I mean, what? And you know what? Shout out to the team that does this. You guys are just... I wish you guys were around while I was in school. And I wish that we learned things like this with graphics and yeah, I might have passed my biology class if this was the curriculum.
And Lissa figured out a way to make infected neurons express this order. So as your powerful defense cells arrive, they are ordered to commit suicide.
I'm sorry. What? I missed that part.
And can be kicked out. To protect themselves, your nerve cells can order T cells to self-destruct if they think they're overreacting. And Lissa figured out a way to make infected neurons express this order. So as your powerful defense cells arrive, they are ordered to commit suicide. Now the virus...
That's terrifying. No, you know what? That's terrifying. Because if a virus can tell your T cells, basically your SEAL Team 6 Delta Air Force, whatever, your SAS, to self-destruct like a suicide bomber. I shouldn't say suicide. Sorry. Like a unalive bomber, self-delete bomber. What?
Infiltrates the brainstem. Once this stage is reached, you are going to die. How Lissa kills.
How long does this thing take to unalive you?
One of the most irritating things about the Lissa virus is that we still don't know exactly how and why an infected person dies. Our usual idea of viruses causing damage is by multiplying rapidly, killing their host cells once they've made enough copies, triggering a massive immune reaction that also does a lot of damage. But this doesn't seem to be what happens here. Brain tissue of rabies patients shows minimal, sometimes non-existent damage. Instead of murdering everything in sight, it's currently thought that Lissa wreaks havoc by messing up the neuron communication inside your brain, so much so that it can't function anymore. This leads to symptoms like confusion, aggression, and paralysis. Now the virus begins to leave. Still traveling through neurons, it migrates away from the brain and heads for the salivary glands. This is remarkable because after traveling in one direction, the virus reverses its course. After decades of study, we don't know how this works. Lyssa ends up saturating your saliva, ready for the irate mammal to bite another and repeat the cycle.
Is this the zombie bit? Is ooh ooh aye, that's not. Ow. Oh god. Oh god. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. No, no, no.
While this seems like the beginning of a zombie outbreak, luckily there are no known cases of a human biting another and spreading rabies this way. Now, the end is near.
For now, there are no cases of a human biting another human and spreading rabies. For now, you forgot that part. For now. Wait a minute. Do you think that's a plausible? Do you think that someone could, I don't know, weaponize it and trigger a Walking Dead scenario? Because I'm not, to be honest, I'm a city kid, so I'm basically effed up when it comes to zombie scenario, a zombie apocalypse kind of thing. Now, given how the world treated the panorama, yeah, we might be in trouble. So, in the comment section, yeah, I want you guys to let me know, how would you handle a zombie apocalypse? And I know that there are preppers and homesteaders. You guys are cool. You've prepared. You're good. Be it prepared for end of the world kind of thing, or just your lifestyle, of which I really admire. But for those of you like me who are basically unprepared for such an event, despite the panorama, which is stupid of me, I know, I'll work on it. How would you handle a zombie apocalypse kind of thing? And I don't mean fantasies, I mean like yourself, the way you are right now, and your family. How would you handle it? What steps would you take? How prepared are you to survive? How long do you think you'll survive? And I'm talking zombie apocalypse where Walking Dead scenario, and there's no Daryl or Rick or Shane. There's none of those people, just you and your family. How would you survive? How would you power through it?
You are rapidly developing encephalitis, a swelling of the brain with many unpleasant neurological symptoms, from lethargy to paralysis. Slowly at first, and then suddenly, organ after organ fails as you slip into a coma. There is no known effective therapy. Barely anyone has ever survived Lyssa once symptoms begin to show. It is by far the deadliest virus we know. Except, there is actually something that could save you: a vaccine. Rabies was one of the first diseases humans developed a vaccine for. As vaccines do, it prepares your immune system for a future attack, so it has the right weapons ready in high numbers. The horrific tricks of simple Lyssa don't work once you are vaccinated. And the vaccine is special for another reason. Because Lyssa is so slow in the first few weeks, it can be given to you after you've been exposed. So you can still be vaccinated after you've been bitten by an animal, which is super important if you've had contact with a sick wild animal, say a bat, because you often don't even notice a bite from tiny teeth. Rabies is a monster, one that has followed our species around for thousands of years, that our ancestors were terrified of, and rightly so. It still kills around
Hey, they say that our ancestors were terrified of this. Do you think this is how the werewolf myth came about? Because it kind of makes sense. I'm not talking about that full moon thing, but the frothing of the mouth, the manic behavior. I don't think they said manic behavior, but do you think this is how it came about? That they saw someone was bitten by a wild animal which was infected by rabies, and they started behaving and frothing in the mouth, and people just assumed, oh my god, it's a werewolf, he's behaving like a dog. Do you think that's what it was? That's what it was. Do you think that's it? Because it makes a lot of sense when you some sense. And you know what, people? Yeah, get your rabies vaccinations. Yeah, get your rabies vaccinations. Don't play around with things. If this thing has been around for 4,000 years, killing 60,000 people per year, don't joke about it. Yeah, protect yourselves.
60,000 people each year, almost half of them children. We
Ouch.
are far from eradicating this monster. It lurks in the shadows, in forests and
I've seen, see, here,
we are far from eradicating this monster. It lurks.
this white people, and I'm talking to you white people, because you guys do some crazy shit. You see things and you're always like, that could be a pet, let me cuddle it, it's so cute. I saw a video on TikTok of a woman domesticating a raccoon. What the hell is wrong with you people? I mean, I'm not saying kill it, but don't invite it home. I mean, we have enough issues with dogs and cats and hamsters. But ferrets and raccoons and otters, and the hell is wrong with you people? Stop it. Oh, and another popular, I'm not saying that this animal has rabies or whatever disease, but there's this popular TikToker, and I actually do like her videos because I've always wanted a serval, but this woman has a serval and it's so beautiful, but whenever I see it purr, something like it growls but then it purrs at the same time, that kind of thing, I always like, oh, it's gonna eat you. Stop it. Stop trying to domesticate wild animals. Stop it. It took us too long to domesticate dogs and cats. Stop trying to domesticate raccoons, servals, and just quit it.
Lurks in the shadows, in forests and animals of all kinds, ready to return in greater numbers if we ever forget how to keep it at bay, or if we continue the trend of being suspicious of vaccines. Let's hope that one day humanity slays this monster, so it can become, like most monsters, part of our imagination. There are much deeper levels of knowledge to explore about rabies than the glimpse we just showed you. But digging into sources and scientific information on your own can be intimidating. So we've partnered with our friends from Brilliant to create an interactive course with hands-on lessons to guide you through some of the concepts we showed in this video. Brilliant is an interactive learning tool with over 60 courses in maths, science and computer science. They make science accessible with a hands-on approach. Think of it as a one-on-one tutoring version of a Kurzgesagt video. You'll experiment with Think of it as a one-on-one tutoring version of a Kurzgesagt video.
Kurzgesagt.
With a hands-on approach. Think of it as a one-on-one tutoring version of a Kurzgesagt video.
Kurzgesagt. Oh, I got it.
You'll experiment with how fast the virus can reach your
Well,
brain based on its protein makeup.
There you have it. Rabies, vaccines, Be careful, people. Be careful. Don't play around with uh, wild animals. Be protected. Take preventive measures, as the old saying goes. Prevention is better than cure, especially since this one does not have a cure. So yeah, check out if you've never gotten a rabies vaccine, go get it. Yeah. So that's my first video. uh I think it went well. Let me know how it went. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.